Yeah.
I think this is another way of, as well, the Ministry of
Urban planning,
and the Ministry of Petroleum, yes. These ministries should actually have a very strong coordination, because these are the systems that are related to environment. I think somehow we can say environment is the mother of all these ministries.
It is true.
Yeah. So I think coordination is very important, and policies need to be shaped in reflection of these coordinations. So that is very important. Now, looking at South Sudan as a national environment, what are the ministry's current policies and strategic priorities for tackling environmental degradation in South Sudan?
Yeah, I think, of course, the policy is to guide and give direction of what should be done. And to put this into effect, we need the bill, we need the law, and then the regulations and the guidelines. Now, with the climate change issues, the ministry has undertaken a number of steps. We first acceded to some of the multilateral environmental agreements, like the Rio Conventions. We became a party to the UNFCCC, that is the Convention on Climate Change. We also became a party to the Convention on Biological Diversity. And through the Minister of Agriculture, we also became a party to the Convention to combat desertification. Because the issues of environment are global issues. They don't have boundaries. So people have to work together. And that's why some of these multilateral environmental agreements came to help support the nations. Because when you become a party, you have obligations to do. And these obligations are geared towards addressing issues, like the issue of climate change. So when we became a member, we have to now come up with policy documents like National Adaptation Program of Action. We also, after signing the Paris Agreement, we have to also to come up with what is called nationally determined contributions. These are the country's ideas of or intentions of how to address climate change. We also have now a national adaptation plan. So these ones will help the country and guide the country in addressing issues of climate change, for instance. And then in the Biodiversity Convention, it's about, we have to address the issue of biodiversity loss of habitats, and all these things. So in our policies, we are looking at climate change as a priority, and then the issue of biodiversity loss. We are also looking at the issues of waste management and pollution. You know, there are a lot of cries about pollution happening in oil producing areas. And this may be simply because I think when the operations started during Sudan time, there were no proper environmental and social impact assessment studies carried. That's why these things are now happening. But we are looking into how these things can be corrected. So with the support of, in collaboration with the Minister of Petroleum, an audit was also introduced 2-3 years ago. But unfortunately, up to now, the audit report has not been finalized by some of the companies contracted, because there were 3 companies contracted to do the audit. Because the idea of the audit is to establish what went wrong and then recommend what should be done to correct the past mistakes. Yeah.
Definitely.
So we also have issues of deforestation, we have issues of wildfires, water pollution. These are all environmental degradation issues. So we are looking into how to tackle these issues. But we have, the main challenge is now resources. Even within the government budgetary allocation, the ministry get the least budget among all the government institutions. But what we are doing now is with the support of the international funding mechanisms. Yeah, like projects in climate change for adaptation and building resilience are supported by the global funding mechanisms.
Imagine.
But as a government, our budget is very, very limited.
That is so unfortunate, by the way. Like I said, there are certain ministries and institutions of government that are being government invested in heavily. But it's still, the impact is the same. Looking at who received the biggest budget and who is not receiving the biggest budget, the impact is still the same.
Yeah.
So in that case, I think it's quite complicated. And then now coming to the policies that are actually prevailing within the ministry. Yes, there are some that are on paper, and there are some that are being implemented on ground. Can you highlight one of a few of those policies that are being implemented?
What we have is we have one policy, that is National Environment Policy 2015-2025. And that policy captures almost all aspects of environment. Of course, after that we are supposed to develop climate change policy, biodiversity, wetlands policy, but as a starting, we started with the environment policy, which encompasses all environmental aspects. Yeah, so we are using that policy. And of course, to support this policy, we are supposed to enact a law. But that's why we have a problem now. The law is not there. So the policy is giving us guidance on how to address these issues. And in this policy, we have environmental instruments. These instruments are the tools that we use to address the problems. And one of the tools is, for our case and our context, one of the powerful tools now is environmental education and awareness creation. Because when you educate the people, when they know the problem that they might be caused by their activities unknowingly, and then the effects of these problems, at least they will adjust themselves. So we are focusing mostly on creating awareness. Because even at the political level, we need also to create awareness. Because once people are aware of these issues, it's only recently because of the effects of climate change that people are now acknowledging environment. But otherwise, environment is not a priority. Yeah. Our country has so many other stretching priorities. So that's why environment doesn't appear as a priority in the political agenda. Conversely, in the whole world, environment is in the political, is at the top of the political agenda. So you can see the difference. For us, it's not an issue, but the whole world is taking it the most important thing. And this is simply because of awareness. Yeah. So, and other tools are like the environmental assessments. Some people look at environment as against development. No, we are not against development. What we want is, we want a development that is friendly to the environment.
Nature, yes.
Yeah. You do the environment, you protect nature. Because nature is our life support system. The air we breathe is for free.
Of course.
Yeah. There are many communities depending on water on the Nile. But if you pollute this water, that means you affect them.
Sure.
If the air is polluted, then people become sick. So what we want is, the development goes on, we also conserve and protect the environment. So that we benefit from it now, and then also hand it to the next generation to benefit from it.
Definitely.
Because we are not the last people in this country.
Yeah. Well, looking at the policies and that one policy and the sub policies that are there, that are being implemented, how do you measure that they are really working?
Yeah, because of the activities that are taking place. Like, for instance, now, as I said earlier, when we got into the international arena by becoming parties to some of the multilateral environmental agreements, we now access some funds. And through these funds, we address issues. Like we have projects addressing issues of biodiversity loss, we have projects addressing issues of climate change. Yeah, so these policies are working because these things are stated in the policy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, looking at the biggest implementations challenges, well, funding is one of them, institutional capacity, enforcement, public operation, or something else. What is exactly the challenge or some of the challenges that are facing the implementation of all these policies?
Yeah, the challenge is, of course, one of them is the resource. The other one is we have limited manpower, personnel, and the ones we have, they also need capacity. They need to be trained, to be empowered, so that they will be able to discharge their responsibilities. And also, we don't have equipment. The simplest equipment, for instance, just to measure some aspects of the environment, like to measure water quality, parameters of water quality, the air. We don't have this equipment, so this is another challenge. So these are the things that we.
Okay. Well, of course, are states and local governments sufficiently involved in implementing the environmental policies? Of course. Are they really cooperating?
They are cooperating, but the challenge is in the first place, there was an issue of strong coordination between the national government and the state
governments.
The way our institutions are set. Some institutions have a very close collaboration and coordination, but ours has not been all that perfect because the portfolio for environment in the states, you get it in different institutions. In some states, you get environment under health. In some institutions, you get it under agriculture. In some institutions, you get it under Ministry of Physical Infrastructure. But I think in the last government, at least, we have seen mostly in the Ministry of Health, but in others, Ministry of Agriculture. So this makes coordination a little bit difficult. But sometimes when you have certain activities, we invite the states to participate. Yeah, some trainings and so on.
Okay.
But the coordination is not really very strong. And this is what we are trying to look into it to improve. And then the other thing is maybe because regulating environmental issues is not effective because of the absence of the law. Because they are supposed to be the one regulating on ground. For instance, if there are projects taking place on ground, they are the ones to go and check. Well, these projects, their implementation is after approval of environmental assessment study reports or not. Are they performing well or not? Are there problems with the environment? They are the ones on ground, we are not on ground. So with this now, they coordinate with us, and then, but the challenge is the coordination actually.
Okay. Actually, we are looking at people who are coming from pastoral communities. They have this habit of exhibiting wildfires at some times of the season, just to make sure that the mature grass, which is a bit dry up, is burnt, and then to allow the other one to grow. With this kind of practice and behavior around cattle keeping and less care of environment, what can you really tell them so that they can shift their mentality from doing that? Instead, they have to find other way of getting better grass than without burning the bush.
Yeah, our pastoral communities have been there ever since, and that is part of the practice they are used to, as part of the culture, because they believe after burning the grass, with the first rains that the new grass that comes are the best for the livestock. So, but we believe by giving them awareness, because learning takes some time. By giving them awareness, I believe they will pick it up, because this is the only challenge that we have. But most of the wildfires are not only by pastoralists. There are other people also
Hunters
who go to the and then also set fire in the forest and whatever. Yeah, especially those who want to hunt and all these things. But we are just trying to say wildfires are not good for the environment, because it destroys most of the biodiversity in those ecosystems. You know, in the forest or grassland savanna, there's so many biodiversity there, so many insects, so many animals. Now when you burn it, then it's destroy them. Yeah. But we need to create awareness so that they understand that. And this biodiversity that are within these ecosystems, they have function there. They help. Yeah.
Okay, South Sudan has a national environment policy, but ordinary citizens may not know what it actually means for them. What are the key things that this policy requires government and citizens to do?
You know, in the policy, all the stakeholders have their different roles. The ministry formulates the law, the policy, and then to implement the policy, then each stakeholder has a role to play. Like, for instance, the communities, the local communities, their role is to ensure that the resources that they have, they use it in a sustainable manner. And they are like the civil societies. Among the civil societies, their role is to create awareness among the people they are living with them. Because they are very good in that, to make them aware of what they are doing and what they should not do. And then also, of course, the government is now to regulate. Yeah, so all the stakeholders in the policy, each stakeholder has a role to play.
Wow, it's great. Well, has the policy achieved what the ministry expected?
Yeah, to some extent, we can say, because the policy alone is not cannot regulate. Actually, the idea of policy is to give guidance on what to do. Then the law comes to put the policy into effect. And then after the act, the regulations come now for the practical
part of it. Okay.
Yeah. But now we only have the policy. The others are missing. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good.
So applying the policy may not be very much regulatory. Yeah. It is the act or the law to enforce it. Yeah. And then the regulations to guide the activities of the people, and then development agents, the developers. Yeah.
Right. Has it been reviewed or updated to reflect the environmental realities of South Sudan we are facing today?
Yeah, as I said earlier, the policy is written there, National Environment Policy 2015-2025. Actually, that should not have been there, but it was put there. And now it's just normal for anyone. If you see it is 2025, that means it's expired.
10 years.
Yeah, although it is valid, but we are now looking forward to reviewing it. Because if we leave it like that, people will say its time is gone. So we are looking forward on how now to undertake the process of reviewing it. Because life is dynamic. Things are changing. Maybe what was captured in the policy in 2015
is no longer what is in existence.
Yeah, it's no longer valid now. Yeah. So the review, because actually a policy is supposed to be reviewed periodically. Yeah, you can review it after 5 years, you can review it after 10 years. So it's now due. It's now due for review to capture the upcoming developments in the area of environment.
Actually, we talk a little bit of how the coordination between the Ministry of Environment and the rest of other ministries are. Well, to actually try to elaborate more on it, how strong is the coordination between the Ministry of Environment and the other ministries whose activities directly affect the environment? Okay, of course, we have mentioned petroleum before, mining, agriculture, roads, housing, and local government. So,
yeah, at the national level, we have no problem. The coordination is good, because there are so many platforms that we are together. For instance, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, with their legal frameworks, there are structures that were established there, committees, and then we are part of that. Even working with Ministry of Water Resources, even agriculture. Sometimes in projects, the steering committee, the Ministry of Environment is part of it. So at the national level, coordination is well. We have joint trainings, we have joined roles that we play at certain structures within these institutions. So these ones could create platforms for us to be together.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a great one. Looking at it at that angle, of course, you know, do you sometimes find yourself in a situation where another government institution activities undermine environmental protection?
not really. Because we work together. If there's anything, for instance, if there are meetings, if there are certain issues, we are part of these processes. We are part of these processes. So, of course, what sometimes makes us handicapped is the absence of the law. Because even if the activities of certain institutions may surpass our boundaries, then we have nothing to regulate directly. An example is the issues of environmental and social impact assessments. Let me say with the extractive industry. And with the extractive industries, I mean petroleum and mining. Yeah. They have their laws already there, and the process of environmental and social impact assessment sometimes is not very clear, because that is our jurisdiction. But because of the absence of our law, sometimes they regulate it based on their regulatory frameworks.
Right. Who has the final say when economic development comes into conflict with the environmental protection?
Because, you know, the legal framework sometimes is good, because in case of conflict of interest within the jurisdiction of a specific institution, then the legal framework of that institution gives you the precedence. That is, for instance, if there is an issue on environment, then the environmental regulatory framework will be the one to supersede. Yeah. For instance, if in an area where, in an interface where we work with Minister of Water Resources, if there's something about environment, then the environmental law applies, not the water law. So in this case, if an issue of environment happens, if there is an issue of environment and economic development, it is because it is within our jurisdiction, then with our legal framework, our decision becomes binding.
That's a great one, of course.
But of course, normally the legal frameworks are supposed to not to contradict one another, because when we have the basic law, which is the Constitution, all the laws are in harmony with one another under the Constitution of the country.
Sure. Of course, some very important issues are already emerging out of this conversation, of course, between the gap between the policies and the ministry itself, and the stakeholders. So I think we can now go for a quick break, and we shall be back and continue the conversation. Please stay with us.
That's okay.
We are going for a quick commercial break, and we shall be back for the continuity of the conversation. Well, when we return, we will focus on one of the biggest questions surrounding environmental governance in South Sudan, the long-delayed environmental bill. So let's go for a quick commercial break.
Every product, every journey, every successful business begins with one thing: logistics. Imagine an Africa where borders create opportunities, not barriers, where goods move faster, businesses grow stronger, and innovation powers prosperity. That future begins in Juba, South Sudan, from the 25th to 27th August this year. The magnificent Pyramid Continental Hotel hosts the 7th Global Logistics Convention. Pyramid Continental Hotel. 3 unforgettable days, one powerful gathering. Meet industry leaders, policymakers, investors, freight forwarders, transport innovators, and business executives shaping the future of African trade. Explore cutting-edge logistics solutions, build strategic partnerships, unlock investment opportunities, and discover the next chapter of regional integration and economic growth. Will you be there? Register today at www.globallogisticsconventions.com. Hosted by South Sudan Freight Forwarders Association, powered by Capital Pay, VI Service, Kun Climate Center, Corporate Bank of South Sudan, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Transport, Road, Bridges, and the South Sudan Chamber of Commerce. GLC 2026, where trade meets opportunities and logistics spurs growth.
SteamSat Company Limited, a solution to satellite services like DSTV, StarTimes, LNB, all types, subscriptions, free installations. We also do aluminium fabrication to doors, windows, partitioning, suspended ceiling, prefurb, panel cladding, glasses. Call us now on +211 925 068 406 +211 985 068. Email us on bnksolutions@hotmail.com.
Find us on Gudele Road after Pacific Petrol Station on the right hand, just 500 meters from Advance Radio.
Juba Echo TV. Information for empowerment.
You are watching the Morning Echo on Juba Echo TV, and yes, now we are transitioning into the conversation around the delayed environmental bill. Well, looking at that particular bill that has been in the parliament for, I don't know, almost 10 years or 10 years or 11 years.
It's not gone to the parliament yet.
It's not gone, okay. Let us come to the environmental bill. There has been discussion about environmental legislation dating back to around 2015. Why is the legislation still not actually fully becoming part of it, or fully enforced after all these years?
Yeah, you put it rightly that actually after the policy was adopted 2015, the environmental protection bill was submitted to the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. But then it delayed all these years there. But 2 years back, I think, 2-something years back, we retrieved it because it's taken a long time. And then we reviewed it again, incorporating the developments. As I said earlier, because things are, life is dynamic. So after incorporating all this, we also submitted it back to the Minister of Justice. Yeah. We do not know where the problem is, but it's not only the environment bill. There are many other bills there which are not enacted. I don't know if it is maybe the number of staff is limited or whatever, or there are other priority things to be done. I don't know, because we have submitted. Then it's the Minister of Justice now to push the rest, because it's the Minister of Justice to submit to the Council. If it is adopted by the Council, then it's submitted to the Parliament. But it has not gone these stages. At least if it is in the Parliament, I'm sure it could have been out.
Okay.
Yeah, but so it just delayed between, after submitting, it could not move to the Council of Ministers.
So meaning the bill is currently still with the Ministry of Justice?
Yeah, but our new minister, Honorable Mabior, was appointed, I think, towards the end of last year. He took it upon himself as a concern. So he caught it back so that people go through it finally. Engage experts to see what could be done, because to him the vacuum with the absence of the law is not good. He's trying other means of how to have something to regulate the environment.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, is the delay political, technical, legal, institutional, or financial?
Sorry?
Is the delay, is it political, technical, legal, institutional, or is it financial?
I don't think it's political. It should be either technical, because the Minister of Justice is its portfolio and jurisdiction, putting laws into order. Because the idea of when we drafted, we submitted it, is for them now to fine-tune it according to legal, so that it becomes legally right, and then it is submitted. So it may not be legal, but I think it should be technical, or maybe financial, or institutional, maybe the number of staff, because they have big responsibilities. All these institutions, their legal frameworks are with them. So, but it's not political.
Okay. Sure. Well, what exactly does the environmental bill seek to change compared with the current legal framework?
Yeah, you know, as I said earlier, the policy gives you the direction of where to go and how to go. But then now, the act to put the policy into effect, you use the act so that if there are mistakes, for instance, non-compliance, then the law comes in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to correct.
Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
You are either given corrective measures, or you are either punished. Yeah, because human being by nature doesn't want compliance. So the law is there to be enforced, to make you compliant.
Okay. What powers would the ministry gain if the bill becomes law?
Yeah, if it becomes law, now we have the authority and power now to take legal measures. But now we cannot do that. Because even in the courts, there is no law for environment there. People are using penal code or criminal law, but because the environment is recent, and these crimes are not may not get provisions in the penal code, provisions on environment. Yeah.
Okay. Would it strengthen environmental inspection and enforcement?
Definitely.
Okay.
Because with it, we can now go for inspection to ensure compliance. Yeah.
And there are going to be penalties for individuals who are not in cooperation with the law.
You can, depending on the weight of the problem. Sometimes you can only be given prescribed corrective measures. Correct this, and that's it. Some cases may require fines. Yeah.
Okay. Would it give communities greater protection from environmentally harmful projects?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
How will it actually do that?
Especially those who are causing issues with the law, they will restrain themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
What are the consequences of South Sudan operating without this comprehensive environmental legislation?
Yeah, that's why most of the issues are happening, and they are happening, and nothing tangible or concrete is taking place. Yeah, because awareness alone is not enough. Because once you tell him, and then he does the opposite, now you get him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give us a practical example of a situation where the absence of a strong environmental law makes it difficult for the ministry to act?
The issues, for instance, one of like in let's say in the extractive industry, from best practices all over the world now, mercury is abolished. They cannot be used in artisanal mining, but people are using it. Now, if the law is there, you can use the law to ban it. You find them who are using it, you charge.
You charge them.
And also this complaints of pollution in the oil fields, what. If the law is there, we can come in. Yeah. It can even force people to compensate the victims.
The community.
If it is proven that the victims were affected by the activities of the operations. Yeah, because there's also to be established, is it the operations of the companies that led to that or not? If it is proven, then the law can be there to come in. Even it will lead to compensation. Okay. Yeah.
Well, the ministry has urged the Ministry of Justice to pass. To really work on the bill and environmental bill. What exactly are you asking the Ministry of Justice to do at this point?
Actually, when our bill was still with them, we are following up what is happening. Why is it not coming out? So these are the questions that we ask them.
So that's the question that is still every day you ask, why? What is causing the delay?
What is the question?
Which means the most excuse that most of us in this country is having is financial.
Yeah, well, I think because of the challenges people are facing now. So that's why things are not moving.
Okay. Are you asking the ministry to actually make sure that put the bill into law before actually pass? And then after then you take it to the parliament? Or are you simply passing the existing bill?
No. As I said earlier, the current minister brought it back and is now working out how to ensure that it is fast-tracked. Yeah.
I think Parliament is the final.
Parliament is the final institution to pass it.
Have you ever actually tried to notify them that yes, there is a process before reaching you that we are actually undergoing right now, but we are not reaching you because of?
They are aware. Yeah.
Notify them. They are aware. Yeah. What do they say on that?
Because we have a committee for environment and forestry there. Yeah, they are very much looking forward for that. Yeah. Okay. But we are still trying. If we cannot, it's not forthcoming, then we may need their support. Okay. More than waiting for the bill.
Well, is the 2015 version of the bill still relevant to South Sudan? But you actually mentioned that you retrieved it
it's retrieved,
and review it. So after reviewing it, are they really reflecting the realities of 2026?
The idea of the reason of retrieving it is to capture the developments, the current developments. Yeah, the reason and current developments. Okay. Because things are changing. Yeah.
That's a good
After
one.
a while, you get another issue coming up which might not have been captured. Yeah.
Definitely, this is an important question because the country has experienced major changes since 2015.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to actually have them. Has the bill been reviewed, redrafted, and what are the specific part of it that you actually try to adjust as a ministry?
Yeah, of course, the bill addresses different aspects of environment. It addresses, for instance, issues of management of resources, issues of pollution, issues of governance, and many, many other aspects. So when it was retrieved, people look into what has been there. Is it still relevant? If not relevant, then we improve it on it.
Okay, are communities and environmental experts being consulted?
Yeah, in the process of the development, actually when the process started, people went down to the ground. We met teams to go to the states to understand the issues in the states. And then during the process of the formulation, there was validation, the stakeholder validation of the bill. We also involved experts from the Ministry of Justice, especially those drafting bills, to be with us. And actually, after enactment, in case it is enacted now a law, then there will also be consultations to make people aware of what is in the law.
Okay. If the Ministry of Justice and the Parliament actually were to make the whole process done and pass the environmental bill tomorrow, what would immediately change for an ordinary South Sudanese citizen?
Of course, changes doesn't happen overnight. It will take people applying it, people will go gradually. Change doesn't happen overnight. Yeah.
Looking at the people that are going to be impacted, what change for business, what change for government institution, and what change for people involved in logging, charcoal production, mining, or other activities affecting the environment?
Of course, when the bill is enacted, it will reduce the rate of these activities. Yeah. The idea is to reduce the rate of these activities.
Okay.
Of course, you cannot do away with it completely, but the current rate of these incidents happening is very alarming, and which this one will compromise the ability of the environment to sustain itself.
Okay.
But once it is there, it will reduce it to a level that the environment will be sustainable.
Good. We have exhausted the bill. Now let's go to what we have actually talked about earlier on, which is flooding, climate change, and deforestation. We have to have some other, a little bit of discussion there. Let's talk about climate change. South Sudan continues to experience severe flooding in different parts of the country. How much of this is an environmental management issue, and how much is the result of wider climate change?
Actually, the whole issue is just the problem of wider climate change, because it is not in our hands, although part of it can be in our hands. You know, there are drivers for climate change. The main cause of the climate change is the greenhouse gases emissions. And then this emission is due to using fossil fuels like diesel, petrol, and all these things, because we don't have coal here. And then one driver is also deforestation, because you know the greenhouse gases, these are gases that are emitted by burning fossil fuel. And there's mostly carbon dioxide, methane gas, nitric oxide, and all these things. Because when they're emitted, they form a layer in the atmosphere, and this layer absorbs heat and keep the heat. So that's what's making the atmosphere hot. This is what's called global warming.
Global warming.
And this is the cause of the climate change. So the idea, that's why when addressing climate change, you have two strategies: adaptation and mitigation. In adaptation, you are trying to address the cause. mitigation. In adaptation, we are trying to adjust to the changes. Yeah. So with this issue, that's why now we experience what we call extreme weather events. And these extreme weather events are the floods, heat waves, and then spells of drought. Yeah, this is beyond our making. So that's why now we have, the manifestation is that we have at times too much flooding, at certain times we also feel spells of drought, at certain time, like formerly the seasons were very clear. When you reach April, the rainy season begins. But now you don't have rains in April. Sometimes in July, you have rains.
Yeah.
So these are the impacts of climate change. You don't have control over them. So, and again, now most of the areas that are affected, these are low areas, floodplain areas. That's why parts of Jungule, parts of northwestern Barghazal, northeastern Barghazal, these are areas, and then Upper Nile, these are areas that are mostly affected by floods.
Yeah, sure.
Because they are very low.
Sure. A recent 2026 study warned that nearly 2.5 million people are at high risk of severe flooding, particularly in the places you mentioned, in Jonglei, Lake State, Unity State, Upper Nile, and Warab. So what role is the ministry playing in reducing this risk?
As I said, we initiate projects in flood-prone areas, and but it is not covering the whole area. Now we have a project in Warab and Northern Barghazal because this is flood-prone areas. We have a project to build the resilience of the community and support the communities. So we also have another one, Kapoita and Terkeka, because these projects are to help the communities build resilience, and this building of resilience include early warning, how to cope up, and because with the early warning, at least it will enable the people to prepare.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is what the ministry is doing, but we are not covering all the areas at the same time. Yeah.
I get it. Are we actually investing enough in prevention rather than responding after disasters occur?
Yeah, we are now trying to be proactive instead of being reactive. Because previously, when floods happen, now people come in. This is now emergency. But we are now, with these projects, we are trying to be proactive, so that people prepare before the disaster happens. Yeah,
that's interesting. How much coordination exists between environment, humanitarian affairs, and other relevant institutions?
The coordination is good. Yeah, for instance, we have the meteorological department, which have weather stations. They generate the information, and this information is shared with us. And then alerts are done. Even in the working groups, we all work together with this to ensure the coordination is good. Because addressing issues of environment is a collective responsibility.
Sure.
It's not a one-man show.
Sure. Now, the ministry has been also involved in climate resilience initiatives targeting flood-prone communities. What practical results should citizens expect from these programs? The project has risen. The oldest may be 2 years now, but people are coming up. The building resilience is not a one-day thing. It takes time. Yeah, but with the projects, we believe they will be aware of, from the early warning systems, they will be aware and be prepared. And when floods come,
although the risk is there, but the impact will be minimal.
Sure. Well, a 50 million climate resilience project launched in April 2026 targets Northern Bahr Ghazal and Warab. It's expected to benefit about 1.7 million people. How will communities benefit directly?
Yeah, they will benefit, I think, because it's going to support them, their livelihoods, and then it will also support them in preparedness for this flooding. So these are the areas that, and they'll also be getting information in preparing for these events to happen.
Okay, how will the ministry ensure that such projects are sustainable after donor funding ends?
Yeah, the problem of sustainability, we believe maybe when the projects are going to end, with the outcome of the projects, other entities will also come in and continue from there.
Okay.
But for us as a government, of course, with the challenges we have, we cannot maintain them.
Definitely, of course, looking at the mechanism that are in place to measure the result, what are those ones? Mechanism you use in measuring the results later in case this, because project is already ongoing. So what are those mechanisms in place to measure the results?
Yeah, of course, the communities will be prepared, and they'll be also resilient, and they will have sustainable livelihoods.
Okay.
Mechanisms, yeah.
Definitely, of course, now we have to shift our discussion to deforestation, seeing that part is now exhausted. Deforestation is another major concern. South Sudan relies heavily on charcoal and firewood. What is the ministry doing to address this?
Yeah, this issue of deforestation for charcoal burning, the ministry had earlier issued a ministerial order banning, because this charcoal burning, part of it is being exported. It's being exported. So the ministry issued, the honorable minister, by then the former honorable minister, issued a ministerial order banning export of charcoal. But for subsistence use, that one is allowed because that's the only source of energy for us. Yeah.
Well, let's talk of, okay, before we move on to pollution, which would be maybe our final discussion point. Let's talk of, is the government considering a stronger regulation of charcoal production, which you just answered, but still, this domestic use, is there a way government is regulating it?
At the moment, no, because by regulating, we're supposed to issue like permits and all these things, but this is not happening now. This is not happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how do we actually...
What is regulated is cutting
Export.
forests for export timber. Yeah.
But domestic use is open. So even if you are found actually cutting down the whole forest and use it for charcoal, as long as you will tell the authority that this is for domestic use, you don't have any problem.
No, this should, the regulation is a little bit difficult because some of these areas, accessing them is a problem. And then formally, previously, long time ago, because there were also forest guards, people in the forest who are guarding the forest. But with the current situation, the forest guards are there, but also they could not do their work. They may be lacking the necessary tools to be there guarding the forest. And the current users of the forest, sometimes the forest guards cannot be able even to stop them. Yeah, these are the challenges. You have not opened it, but the situation dictates that it happens that way. Yeah.
Well, is there a national reforestation or tree planting strategy?
Yeah, the government, I think 3 years back or 4, the government declared 100 million trees project. Yeah. So, and this one has to be done in a period And each state is supposed to plant 100 million trees. I mean 10 million trees. Yeah. But we also want to thank some of the NGOs that are operating in the states. They have afforestation programs, raising seedlings, encouraging people to plant the trees. But the ministry actually developed a concept for that project in collaboration with the UN FAO. But then the concept could not move as expected, because as a partner, we gave them, because they are the ones which are accredited to access funds from the Green Climate Fund. You know, accessing funds from the Green Climate Fund, the agency must be accredited. So as a government, we cannot submit the concept directly. We have to use a partner like the UN agency. So when we developed the concept, we shared with them, then that concept did not move ahead. That's the challenge.
Okay. Now moving on to pollution, waste, and of course enforcement. Let's talk about waste management, particularly in Juba. Plastic waste, open dumping, and poor waste disposal remain visible problem.
Yeah.
Who is responsible for addressing this?
Sorry?
Talking about waste management, plastic waste, open dumping, and poor waste disposal remain visible.
Visible, yeah.
Visible problem. Who is responsible for addressing this issue?
As I said earlier, each level of governance has its own responsibility. We're a national institution, ministry. Our role actually is policy making. And then for cases of waste management in particular, this is we call it a municipal function.
Which is
the function of the local government. Because we have a principle in environment called the principle of subsidiarity. This principle says an environmental problem is best addressed, okay, at the level of the government which is closer to the problem. And the local government is the one closer to the
people.
To the problem, yeah. So ours, we give them the support, technical support, training, what. But this one is to be addressed by the local government. In our case, is the city council. But addressing environmental issues is a collective problem. I mean, a collective responsibility. The city council has to work in collaboration with the people. For instance, in the areas within the town, there are committees there. There was what is called these committees in the hill. What do they call them? Because they are the ones to support these efforts. Yeah. So the city council doesn't work alone, because these are structures within the city council. Ajarbita Shekila, they're the ones to collaborate with the city council, because if the collection of waste, for instance, now with the introduction of these vehicles moving around, of course, this collection is paid for. So it is these committees in the residential areas that ensure that the residents contribute this money for the running costs of the processes. Yeah. So, but for us, if the act is there, now this act, they use the act. Yeah. So each stakeholder has its own responsibility, but the main responsibility is the responsibility of the city council, for instance, in Juba Town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking at all these stakeholders, be it the ministry, be it the Juba City Council and the local authorities, where does the current system break down?
The breakdown is, as I said earlier, first of all, the city council is doing a good work, but its capacity is being overwhelmed by the problem. And the best practice is to use a third party, a company. They use companies, they engage companies to do the work for them. It makes life easy for them. Then they oversee. Yeah, but now they are the ones doing the job itself, which becomes very heavy for them. Yeah.
Well, of course, that is very interesting when it comes to that. Does the ministry currently have enough capacity to monitor, even if there is less enforcement when it comes to environmental standards?
The problem is we don't have enough staff. And also, although the capacity is there, but not very satisfactory. Yeah, the number of staff is limited, and we need still more capacities. Yeah,
definitely. That actually brings us to how many environmental inspectors does the ministry have in regard to having less number of staff?
Well, this is the problem. This is the problem.
So not specific yet.
Yeah, because the ministry is divided into directorates. And the directorate responsible for waste management is called environmental management. Yeah. So the staff there is very limited.
Definitely. Do you have, let's even stop saying it's sufficient. Do we have any equipments and the laboratories for?
This one is missing. We don't have a lab. And even the equipment.
Well, are companies and individuals actually being fined or prosecuted for environmental violations, or can you give us examples?
No, for the moment, because of the law is not there. But the city council has the power of because the local government, they have the power to issue local orders. They can use the local orders in the absence of the law to punish people.
Good. Looking at the link between the ministry itself and, of course, the mining activities, how does the ministry ensure that oil and mining companies comply with the environment standards?
We advocate at the moment, but it's not mandatory because it is the law that makes these things mandatory. Okay? Yeah. If you have the law, then environmental and social impact assessment becomes mandatory. You undertake an activity without doing it, then you have already breached the law.
Okay.
But in absence, of course, it becomes voluntary.
Okay.
But still, there are developers who come to us to seek our guidance. And they cooperate with us.
Definitely.
They come, we give them the guidance, they go and do the assessments, they bring the report to us, then we give them permits. We call them no objection letter. We have no objection for the activity to continue. If the law is there, it could be a license. But in the absence of the law, we just say no objection. That means we have no problem, you can go ahead. and some developers are coming to us.
Okay.
Yeah, that is on voluntary basis. Because if the law is there, it becomes mandatory. They have to come whether they like it or not.
Definitely.
But now if they don't come, we cannot charge them.
Definitely. Now we have to come to the last part of discussion, which is biodiversity. You have mentioned before. Of course, biodiversity and South Sudan natural resource. Looking at South Sudan has some of the world's most important ecosystem, including the SAT wetlands. What is the government strategy for protecting this ecosystem while also allowing communities to benefit economically from them? Sorry.
Yeah, actually the policy talks of conservation of the biodiversity in the country. Yeah, these ecosystems, we need to protect them so that they offer services to the present.
If you were given sufficient political support, and of course the law has been actually put into order by the Ministry of Justice and passed in the Parliament, today, what are the 3 environmental reforms you would prioritize immediately?
Yeah, what we shall do is we shall try to regulate the issue of deforestation. Try to regulate the issue of deforestation, and then secondly, we ensure development activities don't degrade the environment in terms of pollution, for instance. And then we'll also strengthen the local government to ensure for us a clean and healthy environment.
Definitely.
Because that is the vision of our ministry. Clean, healthy, and safe environment for the people of South Sudan. Yeah.
Well, finally, what message would you like to give to the Ministry of Justice and the Parliament regarding the environmental bills?
Yeah, my message to the Minister of Justice is, as the bill was retrieved, if it goes back to them, let them help us by expediting it so that it goes to the council and thereafter to the parliament. And then my message to the parliament is, when the environmental bill reaches you, reaches the parliament, we expect them now to take it seriously so that the environmental bill is enacted. It will help us in regulating the environmental concerns in this country.
Right. What is one thing every South Sudanese should start doing differently today to protect our environment?
What every South Sudanese should start doing today differently is, let us protect the environment, because this is our life support system. If we compromise it, then the impact will affect all of us. The environmental problem doesn't choose, and it doesn't respect borders. So let's do it correctly to protect the environment so that we continue living in a healthy and safe environment.
That's great. Mr. David Batali Oliver, thank you so much for actually making us understand the situation of policies within the ministry and the bill that has been pending for almost 10 years. And to our loyal viewers and people who are actually watching this important program right now, wherever you're tuning in, thank you so much for being part of this program. We do look forward to bringing this conversation to you each and every day. Of course, we'll move out and bring all these things that you are trying to connect with and ask. Of course, this is our country and this is government made up of the people, made out of people that include you, me, them. So we have to make sure that we have all these conversations brought to you and be part of. So if you have never been actually giving your opinion, please make sure that you develop a new habit of trying to be part of this engagement. Thank you so much for today. Let's meet tomorrow.
Thank you.
Hi, Vicky. Hello. Good to see you. It's been a while. How are you?
Hey.
Are you alright?
Is that your glue?
Where are you guys headed to?
Sweetheart, I'm going to Entebbe.
Oh,
I was
amazing.
supposed to go on Tuesday, but I missed that flight.
Of course.
And I have to wait for tomorrow.
That is good that you're also going to Entebbe. What about you, Diana?
I also had Premier go to Mogadishu from Nairobi.
Okay, that is
Yes,
good.
Since they are dealing with cargo, I also have some cargo I have to send to Mogadishu.
Good. All the best. I just hope you get it and you're through with your cargo. Even you, Vicky.
Thank you,
I just
darling.
hope you get for tomorrow on your
Thank
own.
you so much.
Thank you so much. You have to catch up. Let me let you.
Okay.
All right, dear. Thank you.
Hi, dear.
How are you?
I'm okay. I want to go to Entebbe tomorrow. Do you have space?
Yeah, tomorrow we have flight to Entebbe.
Okay, please. Kindly get me my ticket.
Okay, dear. Dear, here's your ticket.
Oh,
And thank you for choosing Premier Airlines.
Thank you so much. At what time is the check-in,
Our
please?
check-in time tomorrow it will be at 7:30.
I can see it is included.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Enjoy your flight and your holiday.
Thank you so much.
At Premier Airlines, we are committed to providing you with the best travel offers, an exceptional service making every journey easy, fast and stress-free, from smooth luggage handling to seamless boarding. Our experienced and dedicated staff are here to ensure your comfort and convenience every step of the way. Book your flight today and discover the skies with Premier Airlines. Visit our head office in Juba at Airport Business Center, Airport Road opposite Sadeco Building. Call the numbers on the screen, or you can as well email us today. We are here to plan your journey. Premier Airlines. Discover